All you have to do is call and complain, and suddenly it starts working again. Okay. They have a lot to do. I'll go ahead and let time run. So we've been working on building the north. The new habitable zone where two people are going to be... They're going to be made to live up here. How's everything else looking? Everything here running okay? Mostly hands off at this point. We were having an issue with getting oxygen into these suits, so we're going to start siphoning the stank out of this air and shoving it directly into there. Tubes are currently off because up here is not yet. Actually, it is breathable up here now. There's air. The one pump is doing good work. At least until the walls get made. What I'm lacking is a way to deal with the carbon. Which, for two duplicants living up here, plus whoever visits, this might be enough. This is for the bathroom. Oh, this broke. This ended up being way hotter than expected. This will have to be made out of steel. That's fine. You guys can do that whenever. Turbine too hot. These are very interesting to work with. Could forego the steam and just let these condense. Like have these both pool. Any future runs, I see steam vents, I'm just going to let them pool somewhere else and let it condense. Evening Misty. See what else is going on around the base. There is a lot of salt. A lot of salty water sitting around. Hey, this is on. The way this is working, this is on. This is just going to pump all air into here. It'll filter anything that gets filtered will then go directly into the oxygen suit so we can build uptown. Anything that reaches the other side and doesn't get filtered will go back into the chamber. Looks like it's doing a good job keeping up. I can just come turn this off when it's time. When all this is a vacuum. Or all of this is oxygen. How? How? How did an extra suit happen? Is there a way to get from one side to the other? No? There may have been at one point. Yeah, these are breaking because it got way hotter in here than I expected. We'll deal with that when they go dormant. Three empty suits. Are there 3 people up here working? Doesn't look like it. Put suits in there. I don't see anyone up here working, actually. Yeah, there's no one in Uptown. We have our delivery system online, so anything we need, I just tell them to put it in there and just toss it north. This way you don't have to carry things up north. We need reed fiber up here. There's algae. Dog. There's a dog up here. Get rid of that dog. That dog's gonna eat everything I need here. The dog just spit up a regolith. Bad dog. Spit up some dirt. Dog, are you okay? You just spit up some ore. Dog, are you okay? You seem ill. Yo, what? Went down the tube. I thought I turned the tube off. That's how the suit's getting used. Yeah, you just brought a suit indoors. Stop it. Not supposed to be allowed. It's only you have to disable it from both ends, or it doesn't count. There. Then I was thinking about it. The duplicate checkpoint. We're gonna have, like, up here can be... I was gonna use this as the main exit to the jetpacks. I might want to put it on this side. Focus on one side over then the other. How are you not broken yet? Like, up here is not breathable. We'll have to dig this out. Guys. Alright, you were gonna go attack the dog. You have a long journey. Right, meanwhile, septic tank still hurting from lack of piss. Water. Running low despite the tanker of... Alright, this is water coming in. Salt is not coming in because the pump got destroyed. Right. Gonna need to put a new pump in made out of steel. $200. I did not read that part. The only thing up here is algae. I could bring plastic up here. Have them toss plastic into the bin. And steel. Probably use that in space. And when salt comes in, salt to get cooked enough that it won't freeze over here. The salt is coming in very cold from some places. I guess very hot from others. There goes the steel. Oh yeah, how are the hatcheries? Only 3 in here. Well, you have room for 5 new friends. 5 new friends? Sage are still okay, right? Sage eat whatever. I'm feeding them dirt. Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4. There might be a way to 5 automate this. I don't know how to do that. Not a Dreco. 1. You need 3. 2, 3. The rest of you can continue to starve to death. And how are the Drecos up here doing? 7. The animal population is powerful. We're getting free oil from all of our slicksters up here. There, now a bunch of plastic has made its way up here. I imagine at this point I'm just kind of... I'm just kind of hoping that everything is working out. This is going to be Thimbleweed. Yeah, any excess... I think the plan for this was... some Mario pants. Who wants the Mario pants? Doctor. No, that's a work pants. Who's working harder than Speed Racer? Speed Racer, where are you? There you are. Speed Racer with the Hawaiian shirt. And the Mario bottoms. Yeah, I'm putting ice on the walls next to the heater. So it melts organically and I get the... If you chop through ice, you lose some of its mass. If you melt it by using... for the cost of power, which we're doing here anyway, then it falls in, you get the full mass. We need ice, we need liquid water to be able to do science. Party room looking good. Water's too cold at the moment. A hot tub. This will warm up very quickly. And the water is going through the pipe. Potatoes. Lots of potatoes. That's what we need. I should start being on the lookout for my new... The people who replace the ones that go move up north. I'm not going to put new people up north. It'll be the doctor... Should it be the doctor? Should not be the doctor. The cosmonaut, for sure. And, like, the red mage or something. Someone who can do everything. Water's coming up here, coming in at 85, it's leaving at 104, then going into the hot tub. We'll come back to you. Meanwhile, how is the well deposit looking? Natural gas is full. You were not even hooked up to automation. You were running 24/7. You are not able to keep up with this. That's awesome. Alright, there is oil happening. The volcano has not destroyed anything down here yet. Some stray water. Weird. Go ahead and mop that up. Alright, hot tub is online. We can turn off the heater. When this starts to overheat, the hot tub is too warm, is just the right temperature. Easy way to tell. This is made in steel. We're good. You are also fighting for space with the steam vent. That's fine. This is what the filter is for. Andy. Okay. Eugenic. Is that a Pokemon? Okay, I need some sort of... Jot it down here on the notepad. Nothing up here has been prioritized. Get to it. Alright, that one can burn, that's fine. Or automation. Where you breed cats. Cats. Curious. I need more plastic. I need a lot more plastic. Bring me plastic. Best music of any game. Better than The Messenger? Some areas up here that don't have a whole lot of oxygen. Oh, Mewgenics as in Mew. Like the sound a cat makes. Not Mew as in Pokemon. Let's throw down... Well... a couple of these to do... Which means I'm going to need water up here. Right, this is for water. Alright, the piping here, that's what we're looking at. Binding of Isaac, that sounds familiar. I think I'm going to bottle water, bring it up here, put it in here. I think the plan was to let some water out into the toilets. Yeah, okay. Piss comes in here. Water comes out here. Ah, it's like having a child. Got it. Oh, you... Alright, these need to face up. These also take piss, though. I'm using all my phosphorite on the Wheezeworts, though. Alright, this was an idea. Not gonna work, but it was an idea. Oh, that's enough plastic. Everyone's keep throwing plastic in here until I say stop. Bring me potatoes. No one will bring potatoes. Oh, I turned off manual use. Hold on. Oh, builder. Can you not jump from here to here? You should be able to jump from here to the ladder. This is a solid surface. You're fine. I just had to tell it to stop counting this as a thing that's been torn down. Liquid naphtha? What the heck is liquid naphtha? Melted plastic. It is hot up here. Oh my. It is hot up here. Huh. Against space. This was really cool to begin with. Because there was no atmosphere. Now that there is an atmosphere, it's able to... Where is the oxygen going? Ah, base. Because they put in plastic and then it melted. I will not be able to make this into out of a future. Yes, all of the plastic is melting. Hey, don't. Don't oxygenate this place just yet. It's not ready. I have an idea of how to cool it down, but we're gonna need to insulate this entire thing. It's gonna be gross. Like, this is not being destroyed because there's regolith on top already. $400. What do I do with liquid plastic? What can you do with solid plastic if I freeze it? I don't know, nothing. Okay, we have a problem. A problem for making things out of plastic. Hmm. Alright, guys. We're going to try to do a move here. This stuff is soft, too, so if you dig this out, it will fall. And you'll have to keep digging until you have made it through. New top priority. The plan was to have this fully built, and then move two people up here and just kind of leave it alone. And let them do their job out here. In space. I'm going to lose all this atmosphere I pumped into it. It's fine. We have plenty of algae. We need to deal with the heat of being next to space and these very hot rocks that fall down from space. With a double layer of insulation, then use a thermoregulator. I put it down here, where I don't care if it gets hot. Like, this area has gotten quite warm. Should have made these out of steel, I guess. These are both going to be firing for many, many days. I was thinking of using this to tell them you can't pass unless. Kind of deal. Arcade. Video games. Takes 1.2 kilowatts of power. The Northern Party Room, where we play video games. Why is that where you're grabbing plastic from? Yeah, if I use this, pump at the oxygen from here into it, it makes heat where it is. I can make a couple of these out of steel in the vacuum of space. No, because then that'll super overheat. I just pick a cold spot and let it warm up. Like around here, I guess. And then pump the cold air back in. Goal is to design everything once, and then I can just kind of walk away. If this got torn down, we make you out of steel, and see if that fixes it. Yeah, I know you're broken. Do one more person on this end. Yes. Yes, because that's what's going to happen. This is rock, so this is going to stop that from happening. What can I do with Regolith aside from feed it to the dog? You feed it to the dog and you get a little less of it. That makes sense. In return, dog gives you meat. Very soft. Good for nothing, I guess. I can't really make the base any... Can't build the inner layer if I do that. Can't make the base any shorter, really. Not with the layout I've chosen. Free fertilizer. I don't use fertilizer. Mealwood doesn't need that. Almost gotten all the stank out of this air. Still just straight oxygen, so I'll let it keep going. It'll pump oxygen here, which will then end up back in there anyway. Doesn't need to be stanky. Free salt. Would have thought that heat's now kind of being a problem. 100 degrees on this side, 13 on that side. Is fixable if I just pop a hole in the roof for a little bit, let the heat rise. It starts to reach things are not working levels. Have a heat sink outside of the base. Oh, this is a window. That should not expose to space. No way to mass do that easily. Feels like an oversight that there's no easier way to do this. That's very likely a meteor shower will cause some issues. But Could just make a wall of bunker tile above it. Protective shield. The water is now very hot. Because of the desalinator being so warm. The water's coming in here from the geyser. Very hot. Well, that looks cool. Look at that. So, now I know this. That adds up. This was not the right way to do this. This was absolutely the right way to do power. Everything about power has gone very well. Like, we cannot use enough power. Even our hydrogen is backlogging. Like, this is where I should be actually using things like this. Near the base. In the base, around the base. How much do you cost? Only $240 somehow. I do have the main line right there. Could use this excess power. And I just grab the gas from here that is hot. Guess I should power these. Give the people back home something to do while up here is being worked on. So I've decided the next side game, the next Wednesday game. I like them to be chill. Halfway through the work week. We're gonna play a game that I had as a kid, but never was able to do anything with. Because I was a dumb kid. We're gonna play Sim Earth. We're gonna learn a lot. Okay, that's neat. You can warn me when my people are about to get struck. Okay, apparently there's space exposure here if you're able to fire in between. Thanks for pointing out a little empty little spot there. How's this looking? You guys get any of this built yet? Some of it. That's where you're going to get the igneous rock from? That's quite the journey, and you didn't even build it. Just delivered some of it. Wild. Alright, let's get some igneous rock delivered up here. 3 dog eggs. Good job, man. Good job, idiot. Just duplicate things. Well, no meteors have fallen from the sky and struck my duplicates yet. What will meteors do to this tile is... Right, I needed to get more steel made, and then I saw how cooked my water already is. What am I using water for? Science doesn't care about the temperature. A water cooler, which might not care about the temperature. A hot tub, which probably doesn't care about the temperature. Oh, water cooler. A hot tub wants it to be warm. Toilets. I pee into hot water. That's fine. Cook it. Need steel. We have a lot of wood. We have unlimited power. Chris is ridiculous. I think I need to go back to having the hydrogen generators running full time before the hydrogen backlog hits. We can't make oxygen anymore. We're never going to win this battle. Oh, the heat is starting to actually happen here. And this whole box warms up. We did it. We built something into space. I did not consider the temperature problem of building against space. Could have built it a little lower. Filament? Not in the wiki. Weird. First, we need to keep the heat out. Second, we need to keep the meteors out. 100 per. I guess that's actually pretty low. It's just, it's steel. Alright, these are on. Good. We should start to see a bit of a temperature change here. Pumping all the air here. Coming in back over here, so it's not going to circulate. Wait. This one's coming back up here. I'm taking the hot air from the south and putting it up north. It'll all work its way out. It's leaving at 121. It's coming back at 100. It's getting naturally cooled down by running along the outside of the base. And it's getting warmed back up as it comes through the apartment complex that I accidentally cooked that one time. Yeah, these work pretty good. Oh, it drops it by like 50. And what would... I imagine the only thing that would stop me from putting this... Like, if I did this... Like, what would stop me from doing this? And just grabbing one of these... Insert air from out. Have it, like, go through a temperature check. If it's cold... It's warm. Send it back in. Well, I guess it would do the other way around. It leaves here. They're a gas element temperature. Yes. So then... Can't hook these up to each other, though. Then you would also have one of these. And this would be hooked up to if there's something here that's trying to be cooled down, don't bring more in. But air comes in, it comes out. If it's cold, like really cold, like how cold could I get if I use, say, oxygen? Before oxygen... Negative 300. That'd be safe to use. I bring oxygen in, send it through the loop quite a few times. I could even have it be on a ticker. Like I think that's one of them. One just to count, just a counter. Could use a timer itself. You know, it's a way to make it increment by 1 every time it goes through. Could use a memory toggle for that kind of thing. Or just temperature control. You're fine. I'll fix you later when these turn off. Hey, are you working better now that you're made of steel? No. I don't know how to get the steam turbine to work then. Because inherently, this is going to reach the temperature of steam, and it doesn't work when it's hot. So you have to have active cooling around this thing, I guess? Very strange. How's this looking? Yo, look at you guys go. Kicking butt. I keep going in the meantime. Alright, where were we? So, air comes in hot. Gets chilled by like 50, we were saying? In at 100, out at 30. 60. Cold. Much colder. It's out here. If it's still above 0, send it through again. If it's above 0, send it, or if it's below 0, send it back into the base. Like, it could be that simple. Alternatively, I link a few of these up and just have it run one into the other and before it returns to the base. I'm not going to get cold air up here until the apartment complex is cooled down. Which it is. It's losing a lot of its temperature going through Farmer Fred's room. If I really wanted a specific area to cool down, I'd have to insulate the pipe so it spits out cold air only here. You only cost $240 plus the heat you're spitting out wherever you are, which, you know, out here in cold zone would take a while to matter. I could just make a box somewhere. Heat over there. This would be a use for the carbon geyser. You take the carbon, run it through, just take it, run it through all the hot zones. Like that particular route, like the thermo room. And then just eject the carbon into space. That would be a way to delete the heat. I had a partial project over here that I never completed. Really going, rather than going through all that, I should just pop open the wall right here. A small pocket for heat to get in. For cold to get in. It's so hot in here, mealwood can't grow. That's a problem. That's something I didn't consider. I need to cool this room down. A lot. This room might be beyond saving. This all needs to be relocated. Give the heat somewhere to go. Oh. Good buddy. You're gonna want to leave. Look out. Heads up. There's a rocketry tab now. Not up here, though. Uses steam to propel rockets. I'd have to make steam for engines. Burns iron and oxalate. Burns petroleum. Burns liquid hydrogen. That takes 2,000 steel. I thought I had quite a bit of steel. I do not. I have committed myself to a lot of steel right here. And if I'm going to do this, I may as well... bunker tiles, not metal. There's an equivalent of... I don't need more generators running, even the natural gas stuff. As long as when it's on, it goes. It still goes up. Yeah, we have plenty of power. This is even backlogged. Alright, so then also liquid thermo-aqua tuner. Do the same thing, but for the reservoir. Just have the water come out here, cool down a lot before exiting. I'd rather not have to come all the way down here to install this. Damn. Hold on. I can fix this. Wrong. Success! If it's stupid and it works, it isn't stupid. You're wounded. Oh, were you struck by a meteor? You'll be fine. Right, repair these. Alright, we seem to have sealed all the holes. Oxygen is accumulating in here. Invalid building location. Needs to be sitting on a wall, like on a floor or something. There. Because it's made of copper? What did I make these out of? Also, welcome. Made these out of steel. I might have to make this one out of steel too. This is the tool that's going to allow me to make more steel. I missed one. So this device just doesn't work? I don't think I've ever used one of these. Need a way to cool down the reservoir. Getting a little spicy in there. So I can make more steel. Wait. I did this backwards. The new one did not get reversed. Hold on. There you down. I had it rotated for the other one. $1,200. Yeah, we're making this out of copper. Screw that. This rotate is O. Yeah, there we go. Build it. This is so welcome to Cold World. Everything is cold. Everything outside the base is very cold. How would you recommend cooling down the reservoir? So now water comes in. Cool, then it leaves. Yeah, that'll work. Let's cut this pipe. We're taking advantage of our unlimited power. Alright, so water's coming in at 110. Leaving at 80. Good. Now I can heat it back up. Steam turbine. Let's think of how that would work, because this is not working. This has been a problem. Even my steam turbines are too hot. Which, this doesn't make a lick of sense that the steam turbines can overheat. $800 too. Wasted 800 steel on this crap. So how would this... Oh, cool Silica because I'm pumping in freshly steamed water into the base. That's what's heating it up. Could disable this for a little bit. Let the water reservoir build up. You're gonna run for 60 days. Right, that's a start. Right, meteor shower seems to be over. We can go back to construction. Meteor shower is not over. Build at your own risk. Here in our attempts to colonize space. We're beginning to combat the heat in the base. The easiest way to do that is just let some of the cold air in. You're beginning to spit out heat. Way faster than this. These are not heating up like at all. So maybe the way to cool things down is not with the Aqua Tuner. How much do you cost even? 1.2 kilowatts. Guess this is the short-term solution. This is already overheated. Jeez. All right, let's tear you down. This was a bad idea. Well. My next idea. Alright, I can do that up here. This wasn't originally hot water. This was heating the ice. And my duplicates were getting a buff from walking near it. So they could venture out into the cold before we had suits. Alright, cold is starting to get in. I was trying to melt the ice that was in here, but I don't think you can melt ice that's sitting in here, because this is reaching 100 degrees, the ice is not. Like my attempt at melting the cubes of oil. Yeah, I've been building, that's why I put down the mesh tiles. I've been doing that. We've been doing lots of that. In fact, I should do that now, since that'll also help cool down. Whatever we do have here. And it's actually hot enough here, I can just kind of... You're right, I can bring this down. It's plenty hot in here. Let's go ahead and just turn this off for now. Yeah, the tapidizer is really effective. I turned this on for like 10 seconds and suddenly the hot tub is working. Here in Party Zone. Farmer Fred's room is cooling down. Yeah, this is cold zone. Took a long time to get the space warm enough that we could do anything. Now we're looking at the opposite problem. So if we do this, if I power this, how much power do you take? Like none. I can sneak this onto this line. No. And then... I just asked for ice. And any ice that's done, they'll put in here, which will be dropped into here, which will cool this down, right? Take the hot water, you mix it into ice, you drop it in. We could even automate it, right? We're still eating pickled meal. If we have potatoes, they won't eat the potatoes. And a never-ending supply of meat. This is so freaking adorable. It's down a few degrees already. But this heat should escape now. I could also just get an aqua tuner going in here. Aqua tuner? Thermoregulator. There's a lot of tools for heating things up. Not great ones for cooling them down. Alright, are we done with the meteor shower? Can we resume work? After these messages. More useless fertilizer. Nope, still... These are long meteor showers, man. Space is relentless. Let's give them time to build the interior. Gotta figure out how to cool this down. First, the plan is to insulate. Which will require putting the shield up. Then we insulate. And to stop more liquid plastic from happening, I'm going to use a thermoregulator. Cool this place down. Game needs a way to do this. Not by hand. Okay, that's a good kind of melting. Alright, so make ice. Step 1. Someone bring ice up here. This produces heat as well, but that's a problem for another time. How long do you take? You take a while. I wonder if it depends on the temperature of the water you put in. Probably. Put very hot water in, it takes a while to cool down. What I need to know is, will this auto grab the ice and toss it into here, which will then drop it. If I do this, my people will never get around to doing it. But you will. That's all you do. Alright, it's now cold enough for ice. Contents are now ice. How cold is this going to get? Okay, there we go. It works! The cubes of ice will fall. And then someone will pick up... Oh, you picked up rust. Rust ended up in the tank. That's fine. And the ice is instantly vaporized. Game is pretty good with the, you know, exchange of temperature kind of deal, so I feel like this should be doing something. This is working way faster now. This just needed some time to get up to speed. Wait. Wait. This son of... He's dropping it. And this is catching it. And putting it back in. How? You are a wizard. How are you catching it mid-air? And the animation still shows of it falling all the way down. That's the same cube of ice. Amazing. That's very impressive. How do I stop you from doing that? This was almost a really cool idea. I could skip the middleman and just have my duplicates do it by hand. Everyone at all times bring the ice here. No, because then they'll drop it down and go grab it and bring it back in there again. I could tell... Ooh. I could tell you only run every so often. That's brilliant. Brilliant! You only run one every... This takes a while to work, so... Every 10, 20 seconds you get a green? Does that work? Turn on once a day? Yo, this will be one every other day. This is what I was looking for before. This is the kind of thing I would be looking for to, like, have air come in and get cycled automatically. Until like, the 4th cycle, then it will release the air. The really, really cold air. Where'd you find a balloon? Where'd you get a balloon? Your melting point is very high. It's a bathroom use speed. As you get older, it goes down. Aw, the Speed Racer always feels great after a bubble bath and a good long cry. Is the balloon like a special thing? Oh, it says Balloon Buddy there. Hold on. There's Balloon Buddy on this. A balloon artist gave this duplicate a balloon. Okay, cool. Oh, look at this. It worked. It was just dependent on someone manually putting water in there. Yeah, so currently I have it set up. Currently I would have it set up with shut-off valves and a thermosensor, just like you said. This is my sketch. Air comes in, doesn't put more into the system if air's already running, cycling, and then it comes out in cycles if it's not cold enough. I was thinking, or I could just have it run a certain number of times and then spit it back out. Yeah, if I don't want to pick a temperature. Like, popping a hole in the floor did a lot to cool down the ethanol distillery. It might be time to just start cutting back on some of the insulation. This is pretty neat. There's a lot of neat, cool things I could do with this thing. I've never really looked at this. And you're going to absorb a lot of heat, which is going to eventually take away from this. Oh, and then someone picks it up and puts it in there. Well. I think these have done their job. Are we done with the meteor shower? Doesn't matter, they're getting to work anyway. Look at these champions. Yeah, that was... Otherwise, they'll put ice in here. Well, with a 1, they're probably never going to get to it. This was set at 7. I wanted to bring all external ice in here, so I could start melting it. There's like no air out here anymore. Good. You did your job. It says broke it, but it still works just fine. I should go in there. And if I don't go in here and clear this out, I could punch it out. Punch this hole out from this side. I was thinking of using this as the science room. Beautiful rainbow. A lot of this I would have done differently if I had considered that putting an atmosphere in here would cause it to boil. A lot of things about this colony have been a huge success. Like, we seem to have really got down ranching. Really impressive that the game can handle doing this for 300 cycles. Just having hundreds of hatch. Wonder if there's a way to see on the big board how many animals do I have running around. There's 57 eggs in this pile. Critters. There are 187 critters. Almost no wasted power. That is beautiful. Look at handsome. I like that little dip from the incident. When the volcano killed 2 of my duplicates. Everything's been good for 200 years. And as we automate, they work less. That's how it's supposed to work. Critters. 186 critters. A lot of stress happens to line up at the time that at the incident, huh? Weird. The highest stress of the mission. When the volcano erupted. Well, when my duplicates decided to open the door that was here and take a breath of air in the middle of a erupting volcano. Killing 2 of them. There was no air out here. We didn't have suits yet. The base wasn't warm enough to have suits. Someone thought it was a good idea to open the door and take a breath. Never did find something to put in this room. Made the base way taller than it needed to be. Wood also populates way faster. Things I've learned. Wood populates way faster than you expect. We have so much wood. $161 tons of wood. The 2 hatcheries are enough for unlimited coal. There is more coal here than we could ever burn. Geysers are incredible. Harnessing them are very easy. Yeah, they went in there and take their last breath. They got melted, they got hurt so bad that one made it over here before running out of air. The other one, for whatever reason, went down. And that was my main digger and my only builder. The base was a little slow going after that for a bit. And then we seal this off, never to talk about it again. It's really weird that this is hand cranked only. It's the only way to make petroleum, but it works. It's fine. I like Cold Planet. I can really push off the problems of heat for a bit. Get away with some really weird things. While having all sorts of other problems. Sand. Never had a stress problem. Like, we never needed a stress machine. Rarely use a triage cot, mainly from burns. Because patrolling, yeah. I think someone's mentioned, like, but heat is not an easy thing to control. That would require taking advantage of this. That I'm using to keep my water down here liquid for the oil well. But as we see from this, even on Cold Planet, it gave me 2 steam vents. And it's not really working out for me. In retrospect, what I should have done with this is just let the water pool up. Let this just be a water source. Then find a way to cool it down. Like using the carbon. My carbon geysers. Send the carbon in tubes through the water, collect the heat, and then eject the carbon into space. They can build scaffolding in space, right? The whole idea that they can do it in the base because there's actually a back wall. We're in an asteroid. It's just space. It's just space. It's magic. Don't worry about it. It is weird that the asteroid doesn't loop around. Why is there a neutronium side? Why wouldn't we're inside an asteroid. You go far enough one direction, you come back out the other. That would make the tube network very powerful if you could just circle the planet here. Like, it makes sense. You can't loop around going up. Up is space. Really, we're in an asteroid. Space could have been in any direction. Who says that we're oriented towards space? We could have been, just arbitrarily pointed this way, and up could be magma. So that's 3,000 degrees. That actually isn't enough to boil one of my dupes. If I was to take someone, have them build a ladder, and then have them tear it out from under them, and have them fall into the magma, Sim style, you wouldn't melt. Airsoft. So, can you do anything with the ooze? If you do manage to bring something to 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit and melt a duplicate, what can you do with their genetic makeup? we had a good idea for this. I had the tube network. I was going to put 2 people up here and have them live here and do space stuff. Jetpacking and crazy shenanigans. They're going to be... Others could come and visit and they could head back down via tube. They can get their supplies via conveyor. Oxygen has always been in high supply. Food has never been a problem ever. They don't seem to care about eating only mealwood. No need to waste your water on Bristle Blossom. Some things we could have done differently. Not really particularly interested in the things that weren't there. I first played this game like years and years ago for a little bit. We had main things to take care of and things kept getting in the way. And we had to solve those problems and then do it again. But to me, your shower might now be over. Doesn't make sense that this can get too hot. Like, at all. This is your purpose. This is what you're designed to do. You've turned off. I could rework this. Take away the steam turbine entirely. Let this just be a way to accumulate water. Steam turbine doesn't seem to be meant for steam vent. Steam turbine doesn't seem to be meant for anything. You have to like make a cold room and put this in it. We lost 2 people. Dr. Chef, who's been here from the start. Doing good work. It's time for the cosmonaut to go to space. You did it. You're in space! Very impressive the game can run 200 of these things simultaneously. Hopping, talking, making noises, crawling, pooping out oil, eating cats. Cats that never found their way to the trees. Just fine. The mysterious water that keeps appearing in the base. Just don't understand. Where is it coming from? Refinery Grove? Oh, the water coming in is boiling as it's leaving here. That's a good sign. Just never had enough piss. Probably because we rely on Oxyfern for so much of this. It kept giving me Oxyfern, so I kept using it. And keeping it fed was using piss. I should have ripped these out ages ago when I made this. Power was never an issue. We've got power under control. That's a learned science. Eraser is stressed out. You're more stressed out now than you were when, you know, quarter of the staff died. What's up? Because you popped your eardrums. Part of the bases can pop your eardrums. Down here again? No? Yeah, we fixed all those issues. Where it was like 30 kilograms of air. 6. Coming over here, if he just refreshed these, this probably popped your eardrums. Next time we're going to do some science. I'm sure we'll return to oxygen on a different planet. No major disasters outside the deaths. That was more of a minor setback. And we have ways to combat the heat. We just pop open holes in the wall. I highly doubt even we would be able to heat this entire planet. Next time. We made it to space.